Hey guys, it's Mulligan, and on Tuesday, Direwolf took the servers down for maintenance, and when the servers came back up, they immediately dropped this new promo on us just out of nowhere, which surprised me once again. Although honestly, I don't know why it surprises me at this point. Direwolf seems to have a philosophy of just do stuff without any type of fair warning, or not much warning at all. But yeah, I'm a little late on this because it'll be Thursday by the time you guys see this, but I still wanted to give just my quick thoughts on the promo. So we got Tesya, Omen Shaper. She's a 7 cost, 7/6 unit requiring 2-time influence to play. She has warp, and when you play another unit while Tesya is on top of your deck, that unit gets +1/+1. And when she comes into play, your other units get +1/+1. So, interesting card. I do like that Direwolf continues to play with the design space of warp, and what I mean by that is that Tesya gives you the option to not warp her into play and instead buff your other units, because you will likely not have enough power to do both at the same time. This also helps if you draw her in the early to mid game when you can't play her anyway. So you at least get some value out of her and can get the rest of it later. We always hate when we see a warp card on top of our deck that we can't play, whether that's due to not having enough power to do it or it's not the most optimal play at the time. So we miss out on the card advantage, particularly if you're playing Praxis midrange. So Tesya helps alleviate that somewhat with her unique ability. Now, being that she just gives a bunch of stat buffs, the most obvious deck to put her in would be some sort of token deck like Praxis tokens or possibly Shimmer Pack. All her text tends to fit Praxis so well though. Her lore does state she is one of the most gifted mages in the Praxis Arcanum, for those curious. Praxis has a lot of focus on the warp and overwhelm mechanics, so it makes sense. However, I don't think Tesya should be pigeonholed into a token deck. I think any time-based deck, unit heavy mid-range deck, which is most of them right now, could benefit from her. I'm talking Praxis mid-range, maybe even Elysian or Combrei mid-range. Not the slower, bigger, quote-unquote mid-range decks like Big Combrei and Big Xenon. So even if you buff 2 units, that's a good upside. The problem is going to be finding a slot for her in those decks, since the list for every time mid-range deck you can think of are pretty tight. Even the ones that aren't as good in the metagame right now, like Elysian. The bad thing, aside from the 7 cost, if you decide to play units while she's on top of your deck, your opponent is going to know you have Tesya on top and can plan for her, unless you'll still have enough power to warp her in the same turn you play your units, which is highly unlikely because she costs so much. That said, I am glad that she has a hard cost of 7 though. Time doesn't really have any playable 7 drops unless you count Mystic Ascendant, which fits into more controlling decks running time like Big Combrei and Xenon Controller, Big Xenon. But yeah, those were just all the thoughts that I had on Tesya. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, feel free to give it a like. If you want to see more content from me, consider subscribing to the channel as well so you don't miss out on it, and just feel free to look around the channel as well. There's plenty of Eternal content. Thanks again for all the support that you guys have given me, and thanks for taking time out of your day to watch this, and I'll see you all soon. Take care.